Welcome, everyone. We're going to wait a few minutes for people to join, and then we'll be going through Schoology and Writable. So we'll go ahead and get started in about 1 minute. Welcome to, I'll just introduce ourselves while we're waiting on a couple more people to join. I'm Heidi, and we're also joined by Charlton Jimerson, who's on, if you want to give a shout out there, CJ.
Hello, I'm Charlton Jimerson.
Yeah, so we're here from your classroom success team. You've probably chatted with us inside Writable, may have had calls with Becky and Kara, who are on our customer success team as well, and they're joining us tonight as well. I'm gonna now go over to what we'll cover. So we're just gonna do a quick overview just to kind of get your minds on, I know you use a ton of technology and even more so after last year, just to kind of give you an overview of how this all works together. And then we'll go into a live experience, both from a teacher perspective, as well as from what a student would see in Schoology. And Charlton's going to go through part of it, and I'm going to go through part of it and give you some tips at the end for success. So with that, just kind of the why we're here and why we're doing this. We really aim to make teachers' lives easier. We know that if you're in Schoology every day, and that's where your gradebook is, and that's where you create all your modules and your courses, your curriculum, we need to have Writable be right there. And if you're using an HMH program like into literature or into reading, those are also right in there as well. So we need to make sure that your curriculum and Writable resources are where you live and where your students live every day. And so your rosters, your assignments, and your grades all sync up with Schoology. And so that's what we'll be showing you. And this is kind of new in the last 12 months. So if you're just a lot went on last year. So if you don't remember, there's two ways that you and your school or district can use us. And so you might want to talk in your PLC or with your tech director or your curriculum director about which way is best for you. But there's really two ways. One way, which Charlton will go through later in the webinar, is all about logging into Writable and just making all of your stuff go over to Schoology from Writable. So you'll do everything in Writable, you'll prep your assignments, and you'll push your assignments to Schoology from Writable. So that's one way. The way I'll cover first is probably what you're used to if you're using external tools a lot in Schoology, and that is kind of you're starting in Schoology and you're making all of your assignments right in Schoology. So we'll go through both of those, and please ask questions as we go. And just a quick shout out, if we have any admins on the call, Schoology admins or new customers who aren't integrated yet, and you might be wondering, why am I not seeing what she's showing in this webinar? Probably because your district admin or your Schoology admin hasn't set you up yet. So they'll put this in the chat, but make sure to get this setup article. And there's like a form they fill out to your Schoology admin if you're not seeing what we're seeing tonight here in the webinar. So kind of 10,000 foot level, no matter which way you choose, remember there's those two ways we talked about, no matter which way you choose to use Writable and Schoology together, your students can always access their assignments right inside Schoology. So that's a really important part of, saving your students time, keeping them on task, keeping the Writable assignments right where they're used to everything else being, which is in their course assignment list. So that's what that's like. And then we'll go look at the gradebook. The gradebook is the other piece that no matter how you use Writable and Schoology together, the grades are always going to come from Writable. So you're going to grade in Writable, and then the grades go to your your Schoology gradebook. And so that's important just to save you time. You don't have to double enter anything. You can always still export grades from Writable, but this way, at least your gradebook is kept in sync with your students' work in Writable. So with that, I'm going to head over to Schoology. So I'm in Schoology here as a teacher, and you will have many more courses and interesting things going on in your Schoology than I do here, but I'm basically starting in a course. I'm going to go through that first way of how do I make an assignment inside Schoology that connects to a Writable assignment, right? So that's what I'll be going through and doing. I'm going to go into my fall 2021 ELA course. And this is the add materials button. You're probably using this quite a bit. If you click on there, Writable will show up. Now, only one of Writable will show up for you, just one that says Writable. And you'll click on that, just the green icon. And this is really where it's opening a little window into Writable, and it's letting you pair the Schoology assignment with something that you've prepped in Writable. So, you do want to probably head into Writable first to maybe choose an assignment. We have over 1,000 great assignments. We have a response to reading. Many of you who use HMH curriculum will have your entire HMH curriculum that can show up in Writable. So a lot of great stuff. You can either explore assignments, or if you've already kind of selected one that you want to assign, you can click on it here. And then you're always asked which feedback settings and assignment settings would I like to add. So here, it's the beginning of the year. I probably would just turn on maybe a self-review at this point in the year. And I'm going to turn off all the AI for now. These are different student supports that pop up. But as you're going to see when I grade, teachers have access to all the artificial intelligence and all the grading supports, no matter what you turn on for students. So I'm going to keep it pretty basic for this time of year and just get students thinking about self-review and self-reflection on their writing. And then I'm going to click select assignment. And that really just makes the Schoology assignment. So it pops up right here. I'm assigning a response to media from one of our partners, KQED. And that, as soon as I do that, it's now available for students in Schoology. So I'm going to head over to a student account and just show you how they would access it and how they would see it. So I'm in the course, ELA Fall 21. And again, that assignment just popped up here for them. And as a student, just keeps everything organized for them right where they're used to working. What I always like to tell students to do is see how it's opening in a little window inside Schoology, which is great because it makes them understand, okay, I'm in a Writable assignment inside Schoology, but see this little full screen. You can have students go full screen if they want a little bit more room to work, and they're seeing their assignment details here. So this is the student dashboard in Writable. Just helps them keep on pace with their assignment goals and their progress as they move through the assignment. So it will always have a little bit of a goal at the top, and then their reading and writing progress, and then their review progress if any has been assigned. So let's go into the assignment. And here in this assignment, it's a response to media where they watch a video and they're kind of taking notes as they go. Several times there'll be several readings or glossaries or supports built into an assignment. So they can do that, and then they can read their prompt. And last but not least, all Writable assignments will come with a check and submit, which is where their student-facing rubric items are. So they'll kind of work on their assignment, and they will put some writing in, and they can work on that over 1 class period, over 5 class periods, however long you're giving them. It auto saves. You don't need to worry about anything auto saving. They just write, they come back tomorrow, they write, they revise. When they're ready to get some feedback or turn in an assignment, they click submit. And so I'm going to do the self-review later. Actually, I'll just show you what a self-review looks like. So if you had assigned a self or a peer review, the student would then be reading their writing, and they would be kind of thinking about, what am I going to work on in my next revision? And they're always supported with some comment stems and things like that. So maybe I would say I'd like to make a stronger opinion in my next revision. So they can move through and do that. So that's really the student side. On the teacher side, they will then see, well, where would they check for progress? So you're in Schoology every day. You would kind of come in, you would be looking at all of your course progress, and you would just launch into that same assignment to see how progress is going. This is going to open your teacher or your assignment dashboard actually in Writable, and it's just going to give you a glimpse into how students are doing. So I'm right inside Schoology. I launched into the Writable assignment, and it's showing me that about 50% of my class has submitted writing. So it might be a good time to start giving some feedback. We do have AI insights, which are artificial intelligence kind of supports as you grade, that are already popping up and helping you as you give feedback. And I see that I have 1 student writing right this minute, which is exciting. I could give them some live feedback, but I can also see that how they're kind of moving through the assignment. So they have some writing. I could say, great job, keep it up. Just an instant conference is what this is. It's meant to just give a light word of encouragement, and that will go to them if they happen to be in class or in the writing submission at that moment, or when they next log in. And then they can also kind of see, well, what is Grammar Aid, which is one of our AI supports, telling them? Well, it looks like that, there are a couple of misspellings and a couple of syntax things. We'll also point out style and kind of word choice. You can just see that as you go to grade. So when you decide to sit down and grade, you would put grade or grade now, and you'd grade with whatever rubric items you had selected. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick grade just to show you how the grade would sync with the Schoology gradebook. The other great part of Writable is you can add audio or video feedback. So that's nice if you want to just add your voice to the commentary. So maybe it just feels a little impersonal that you're giving them a 2-star, 1-star. You can go in and say, and I gotta let my microphone in. I could just basically say, great job, Becky. I love where you're going with this. Can you add a little bit more support for your opinions? And you could send that over to the student. So great audio and video feedback options in Writable that are there. And then you're gonna click submit. So that sends the grade. The moment I hit submit, the moment I just hit submit on that grade and I move to my next paper, I see that I've given the student 82%, which is pretty good. And that's gonna then file over into the gradebook. So if I come back out now to my gradebook in Schoology, that grade should be filed and you don't have to do anything extra. So again, the rule of thumb is grade in Writable, and then the grade goes to Schoology. Now, sometimes if you don't see it, you have to make sure it's gone to the right grading category. And so here it is here. So I had put this in practice assignments. A lot of times your district or your team will have set up these grading, categories in advance. So maybe it's assessments or practice work, classwork, that kind of thing. So mine is here, and I can see here that 82% just went into my gradebook. Hand it over to Charlton to show you the other way, which we think is easier, but we would love to hear your opinion, the other way of creating assignments in between Writable and Schoology. So.
Yes, thank you, Heidi. So a lot of teachers like to work within Schoology, but there may be some teachers who want to start preparing their assignments and staying inside of Writable. So we offer another route where teachers can create assignments that will ultimately end up in their Schoology course. So starting from inside of Writable, teachers can log into Writable using their Schoology account. So I will show you guys how to do that. You will click on the sign in with Schoology option and then select your state or school. If you're not seeing your state or school, you can contact your admin director because they may need to set up the form in order for that school to be available for selection. So when you go to Writable, you'll see the Google and Microsoft options, but if you're set up, you'll see the sign in with Schoology, and you can browse through your state, select your school. You may be asked to authorize your Schoology account integrating with Writable. And once you do that, you should be immediately signed into Writable. Once we're in Writable, you can select your assignment that you have put into your account for use to put into your Schoology course. So one thing you might realize when you're trying to assign the assignment is, my classes aren't here for this current school year. So one thing you would want to check to make sure that your classes are current. And if they are not, you can use our handy dandy import Schoology classes button to pull up your recent Schoology courses. So as you can see, there's a couple there, but the course that I want to use is already in my Writable account. So I'm going to select the Writable assignment that I've prepared for my class, and I'm going to click the plus assign button. and I'm going to assign it to the same course we've been working in Schoology, ELA Fall 21, Section 1. I'm going to click Next, and you will see the same assignment options that Heidi showed that were available using the route from within Schoology. The only difference here is that you want to make sure you click the Create in Schoology box and check that off so that the assignment is placed in your Schoology account within your Schoology course that you've selected for assignment. So I'm going to select this Create in Schoology, and when I click plus assign, it will be placed in my Schoology course. So I'm going to navigate over to Schoology, click on courses, navigate to my course, and you will see the narrative paragraph section 1 assignment ready and available for students to grab and get working on their assignment. If you click in, you'll see a link within the assignment. It's right here. I'm going to highlight it. It's a little bit small, but this will actually take you back into Writable when you click on it as a teacher and or as a student. The other thing that you might want to do is assign it to a class that's not present. So as we mentioned, there may be some other courses that are in your Schoology account that you are wanting to assign the assignment to. Now, it does take a while for our systems to talk. So if you don't see your course immediately, it may take some time for it to show. But if you are looking for a course that you would like to assign to, click the Import Schoology Classes button, and then select the one or more courses that you would like to assign, to import into your Writable account. So I'm going to select all these courses here. The more you select, the longer it may take for import. So please be patient. And I'm going to import these courses that don't want to import. We will have to see what's going on with that a little bit later. But essentially, you will click on that and your classes will be imported into your Writable account. And then you can select them here under assignments and by clicking the plus assign button. Once you do that, the assignment is available in Schoology to be used in the same way that Heidi explained from the route that you use when you create the assignment from within Schoology. It's still going to create a gradebook entry for the assignment in the gradebook. So as you see here, when we go to the Schoology gradebook, you can see narrative paragraph is there, ready to be completed by the students and then ultimately graded by the teacher, which would push and sync over to Schoology.
You know, a lot of times if you're brand new to Schoology and you've never really used it before, say it's your first year and your district's just brought it in, maybe the method on the right is a little easier because you're kind of learning the clicks of Schoology and you kind of want to just do everything from inside Schoology. We have also many customers who have said that the way on the left that Charlton just showed is easier because you already have to go into Writable to prep an assignment. So why not just be able to click an extra button and assign it from there? So kind of personal preference.
Tips for success. So I know that Schoology can give you a headache sometimes. So we wanted to provide a couple of tips for success when integrating your Schoology account with Writable. As I mentioned, one of the biggest things that kind of gets overlooked is when you start the school year, you want to prepare your classroom and get ready for the new school year. Well, you want to attack your Writable account in the same fashion. You want to get into your account, look at the classes and see if they are your current classes or if they are classes from the previous school year. So if you see classes that aren't current, one thing you can do is archive them, and you can get rid of the classes that you don't want to be displayed for assignment. So a lot of times it can really clutter up your assignment selections by having classes that are old. So we don't delete here at Writable, we archive. So if you click what we call the hamburger menu, the 3 lines here, you can select your class to be archived, which would remove it from the list for assignment selection. The other thing you can do is, as we mentioned, click the Import Schoology Classes button to find and import your current Schoology classes. We don't have visibility into your Schoology account, so it's imperative that you are aware of which courses are in your Schoology account and which ones you would like to be imported into your Writable account. The other thing that kind of drives teachers crazy is seeing students that may have a light gray text and seeing students that are present in black text. Well, a student that hasn't launched yet will show as gray. So until that student has launched from Writable, they will be visible on your roster, but will be in light gray text, just showing you that they haven't yet made their way into Writable from Schoology. Another way that we initiate our accounts, and it may be light gray or cause some confusion, is we have a lot of HMH users. And in order for HMH users to integrate with Writable and integrate with Schoology, you would need to launch at least once from HMH Ed to initiate your Writable account. Sometimes some of our users that are eager to get started in Schoology will start directly from Schoology and find themselves having issues. That is because you need to launch at least once from HMH Ed to initiate your account, and then you can place the assignment in Schoology and access it from Schoology into Writable. And the third tip is just to make sure, if you're going to connect a Google or Microsoft account to your Writable account, go ahead and do that when you see this wizard show up that allows you to connect at the beginning. A lot of times we bypass things like this and click not right now or skip, but we really want you to connect your account so that we can prevent having duplicate accounts in our system. So if you see this, go ahead and connect it. It will save you a lot of headache going forward. And our last tip is, if you have students using Schoology on iPads, just recommend that they use the mobile browser, not the Schoology iOS app. This is the iOS app for Schoology is not supported for external tools like Writable. And as we mentioned before, that login with Schoology button at the login screen on Writable site, make sure they click the login with Schoology option. And that is a couple of tips to keep you from being frustrated down the road. Lastly, as you guys know, we have a live chat with real people behind it. If you need to reach out to us concerning an issue with your Schoology account, your Writable account, or anything in between, just come say hello in live chat. We'll be there to help you, to assist you. We do have working hours, but feel free to reach out. And if we don't catch it, we'll follow back up with you as soon as we see it.
All right. Well, thanks for joining. I know it was a quick one, just little doses of learning along the way. I know it's very hard to make time to learn, but thanks for joining us, and look for the recording and more events soon.